This is English Grammar Basics, Part 3, Adjectives. Adjectives describe noun words. They tell us about the size, shape, color, and other details that make the noun more identifiable. For example, if your noun is a person, we can say, a pretty girl. If your noun is a thing, you can say, an amazing library. And if the noun is a place, the tall Eiffel Tower. We notice that adjectives come before nouns, and these words describe the noun. For example, a good dog, a big tree, an orange car, an amazing teacher, me. But we also notice that the adjective is between the article and the noun. So the word order is article plus adjective plus noun. And remember, if the next word after an article starts with a vowel sound, the article gets un. Nouns that are things, such as clothes, often use adjectives to describe them. Pants could have the adjectives long, short, striped, blue. A dress could have adjectives red, wavy, straight, strapless. A hat could be big, tight, round, or dark. Shoes could be loose, small, old, or squeaky. A sweater can be warm, comfy, soft, or rough. And socks can be bright, little, plain, or cute. With more than one adjective describing a noun, they need to be in the correct word order. The adjective word order is size, then color, then pattern, then material. So, a big gray elephant, or a small red striped shirt. Remember that sentences begin with a capital letter, and we use subject plus verb plus object as the sentence structure. And we must follow the article plus adjective plus noun structure. So here's some example sentences. Notice subject comes first, plus verb. Then we have article plus adjective plus noun, and in this case, the object. So it's subject, verb, object sentence structure. In number 1, she has a striped cotton shirt. Notice the word order of pattern, material. Number 2, she wants a big brown leather belt, with the adjective word order being size, color, material. In number 3, he likes red and black polka dot ties. We have color, then pattern. In number 4, he bought a long red and white striped cotton shirt. The adjective word order, size, color, pattern, material. But adjectives can also show us the difference between nouns. We can explain the difference between two or more nouns by using them as comparatives or superlatives. Compare, show difference, and super for unique or number one. With adjectives, we can make comparative and superlative sentences. Comparative adjectives show the difference between two similar nouns. For example, my car is bigger than your car. We have two cars in this sentence, my car and your car. These are similar nouns. And we make a comparative by changing the adjective, showing that one of these nouns is greater than the other noun. But a superlative adjective can show the difference between one noun and many similar nouns. So for example, we have my car again, one noun, is the biggest car in the city. In context, there are many cars in the city. So this is many nouns. So my car is being compared to many cars, and this becomes a superlative. And so it's the biggest, the number one big car in the city. So, comparative adjectives describe the difference between two nouns, one to one. Example, I am shorter than my brother. I am one person, my brother's another person, one to one. Another example, I am more beautiful than my brother. We still have two similar nouns, one to one. That's me and my brother. And superlative adjectives, think Superman, super, are the difference between one and many nouns, one to many. So for example, my brother, which is one person, is the tallest member in my family. Remember, there are many members in a family. So it's one person to many people. Another example is my mother, who is one person, is the most intelligent in our family. Remember, many people in a family. There are two steps to follow to decide how to use comparatives and superlative adjectives. Step 1 is we look at the sentence. Is it a comparative or a superlative sentence? Is it one to one or one to many? And for step 2, is the adjective rule number 1 or rule number 2? Rule number 1 is for 1 to 2 syllable words, and rule number 2 is for words that are 3 or more syllables. But what is a syllable? Syllables are vowel sounds in a word. For example, the adjective blue has one syllable, one vowel sound. Adjective pretty has 2 syllables. Beautiful has 3 syllables. And intelligent has 4 syllables. If counting syllables is difficult, just think of this. Rule number 1 is for small words, and rule number 2 is for big words. Be careful of Konglish pronunciation. When counting syllables, it is very important to be pronouncing the words correctly. We pronounce this word as English, not Englishy. Fish, not fishy. This, that, and not this, that. And when it comes to adjective words and applying grammar, you need to really pronounce the word correctly in English, especially when you have consonant letters next to each other. So this word is pronounced scary, not scary. What happens when you mispronounce the word is you've turned a 2-syllable adjective into a 3-syllable adjective, and that'll change the grammar rules. How to make comparative and superlative adjectives? It depends on how many syllables or vowel sounds the adjective has. So for our small words or 1 or 2 syllable words, to make it comparative, we add ER at the end of the adjective. If it's a superlative, then we add EST at the end of the word, but we also put article the before the word because it's unique. And remember, article the is for unique things. If your adjective is a big word or a long word and has 3+ syllables, then we do add more before the adjective, and the adjective does not change spelling. And if it's a superlative sentence, we add the most plus the adjective word without changing the spelling. Superlative adjectives start with article the because they make unique nouns. So again, in step 1, we ask, is the sentence comparative or superlative? And in step 2, we look at the adjective and how many syllables it has and apply either Rule 1 grammar, ER, or EST, changing the spelling of the adjective, or we apply Rule 2 for the long 3-syllable plus words, and we add more or most at the beginning before the adjective word. So again, we have step 1, is it a comparative or superlative sentence? And then we look at step 2, is it Rule 1 or Rule 2? For comparative sentences, we add ER. If it's a superlative sentence in Rule 1, we add the and EST. But if these are long words with 3 or more syllables, for a comparative, we add the word more before the adjective or the most before the adjective for a superlative sentence. Let's practice. I am, and here's our adjective, smart student in the class. So what we have to do first is decide, is this a comparative or superlative sentence? So we look at the sentence first. I am, so one person, student in the class. Well, there are many students in a class, so remember, context is important. So this is a superlative sentence. It's one student to many students. So what's happening is we're making a superlative sentence. Now, step 2, we look at the adjective. Is the adjective a small word or a big word? How many syllables does it have? Adjective smart is 1 syllable. So we're going to apply rule number 1. And so I am, superlative, the smartest student in the class. I am the smartest student in the class. Second example, you are. Single person, you are tall than your friend. You is one person, your friend is one more person. This is 1 to 1. So this sentence is comparative. Now we look at the adjective. The adjective tall is only one syllable, and it's a small word, so we know it's going to follow rule number 1, and we're going to change the spelling. So, you are taller than your friend. A comparative sentence with rule number 1, adding ER. You are taller than your friend. Next example. That house, one house, is big house in the city. Well, we know there are many houses in a city. So this is one to many. And this makes it a superlative sentence. Now, we look at the adjective. How many syllables? Big is one syllable. So we're making a superlative sentence with rule number 1. That means we're changing the spelling. But remember, for superlative sentences, we add article the. So that house is the biggest house in the city. We add est. That house is the biggest house in the city. Gray is beautiful cat in the world. Gray is one cat, but there are many cats in the world. So we're making a superlative sentence. We're saying Gray is the number 1 beautiful cat. So we're going to add article the because it makes Gray a unique cat. And then we look at how many syllables the adjective has. Beautiful. Do you remember how many syllables? Beautiful is a 3-syllable adjective. So this means it's going to follow rule number 2, and we're going to add a word before it and not change the spelling. So Gray is the most beautiful cat in the world. Again, Gray is the most beautiful cat in the world. And our last example, my car. That's one car is expensive than my bicycle. One bicycle. This is a comparative sentence. One car to one bicycle. Now, we look at the adjective and ask how many syllables does it have? Expensive. 3 syllables. This follows rule number 2. So that means we're going to add the word more to make it comparative and not change the spelling of the adjective. So, my car is more expensive than my bicycle. One more time. My car is more expensive than my bicycle. Great work. In our next lesson, we're going to learn about how to make compound sentences with coordinated conjunctions. Hope to see you then. The end.